In the last episode, I suggested 15 potential additions and/or replacements to the Mario Kart 8 roster. In this episode, I'll be going over some honorable mentions and the reasons they didn't quite make the cut. Starting us out at number 6, the Hammer Brothers. Elite members of the Koopa Troop, the Hammer Brothers have been featured in nearly every Mario game in a variety of incarnations. Indeed, the brothers are such prominent characters in the franchise that they are depicted on the original cover art for the Super Mario Bros. Yet, they've only been featured as playable characters in 2 games to date, Mario Party 8 and Mario Super Sluggers, both for the Nintendo Wii. So, why did I neglect to add the brothers to the list? While I firmly believe that they deserve to be in the game, I don't think it's necessary to give them their own spot on the roster. Indeed, they could simply be alternative skins for the Koopa Troopa. Number 5. If you've played any of the Super Mario role-playing games, you'll know that not all Goombas were created equal. Indeed, some have proven to be kind-hearted and quite helpful, like the Goombas that inhabit the Goomba village as depicted in Paper Mario. But 2 Goombas stand out above the rest. Goombario and Goombella, both of whom have joined Mario on separate quests in the Paper Mario series. And while it can be argued that the Goombas deserve their time to shine as playable characters, they would look rather silly behind the wheels of a race cart or behind the bars of a motorbike. I mean, they would have to be specifically equipped just for them, which is something that would be nice to see perhaps in future racing games, but I don't think it would be reasonable to expect custom vehicles just for Goombas in a game that is already 2 years old. Number 4. CAG Letter and Fawful. This Wonder Team acts as the antagonist of the Mario and Luigi series, the latter making far more appearances than the former. The duo, however, made quite an impression on the Mushroom Kingdom's history when they decided to steal Princess Peach's voice in the beginning of Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga. While it's always refreshing to see someone aside from the Koopa King wreaking havoc on the Mushroom universe, I decided to exclude these 2 from my original list simply because I'm not especially familiar with either of them. But hey, at least I'm honest. Number 3. I will admit, I was thrilled when Nintendo decided to make the leader of the Boos and main antagonist in the Luigi Mansion series a playable character in the Mario Kart franchise. As one who's dying to become a Boo himself one of these days, being able to control the King of the Boos is, to say the least, a very humbling experience. However, I quickly realized that King Boo looks a little ridiculous fluttering around above a motorbike whilst racing around a racetrack, and that, I'm sad to say, is why I chose not to include him in my initial list. Number 2. Captain of the Black Sugar Gang and the thorn in Wario's side ever since his first adventure in Super Mario Land 3. Captain Syrup is a very refreshing character in that she was one of the first female antagonists in the Mario universe, aside from our transgendered friend Birdo.
I should come up sometimes, silly.
I'm sad to say, I don't have a reason for Captain Syrup's absence from my initial list, aside from the lack of room. And finally, at number 1, we find Princess Zelda. We can all agree that the Mario universe is in need of more females, and it can be argued that since Nintendo decided to include Link as a playable character in Mario Kart 8, Hyrule's beloved princess deserves to be on the roster list as well. I feel, however, that it's unnecessary to include assets outside of the Mario universe in Mario Kart 8. While Hyrule Castle and the Animal Crossing Village were clever additions to the game, there are so many underutilized characters and locations still within the Mario universe that could have easily filled those spots, and that is why I neglected to include Princess Zelda to my list. As always, thank you for joining me. And if you are so inclined, please click the like button and show your support to the Koopa Troop today by subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure to check out and purchase the Mario Kart 8 downloadable content only available on the Nintendo eShop.